Standby replicas are now generally available in Azure SQL Database. Learn everything you need to know this week on Data Exposed. Hi, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome to this episode of Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined by Rajesh, a program manager on the Azure SQL Database team. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And last time you were on the show, we were talking about some new things that were in preview, but now I think you have some news. So yes. What's the news?
It's all about general availability for license-free Standby Replica. So my name is Rajesh. I'm a principal PM manager in the SQL DB team. And today we are going to talk about Standby Replica. And before we touch upon what Standby Replica is and give you a refresher, at a high level, we talk about three pillars in business continuity: availability, high availability, and disaster recovery. And Standby Replica falls in the disaster recovery category. Last time we did a couple of sessions with Anna, both for business continuity and Standby Replica in depth. And we also went over a demo. What's exciting for this time, Anna, is all about general availability.
Awesome. I'm sure people are going to be really excited to hear this. I got to ask, can you give us just a little bit of a refresher? What is a Standby Replica?
Absolutely. So if you think about Standby Replica, the biggest value prop for Standby Replica is 40% savings for enabling DR.
Wow.
This we have seen it from customers where they were asking, hey, the total cost of ownership when I enable DR is high, and how can we get it reduced? So what we have done, as you can see in this picture here, when you create a replica, you get an option for GeoReplica, which is your full-blown replica, which incurs license cost. And then you also have Standby Replica. And the catch with Standby Replica is, as long as you're using Standby Replica just for reads, we take off license from the whole from the resource, meaning you get up to 40% savings. And you provide a consent, because it's again based on consent, wherein a customer would come and say, my DR secondary is only for standby. I'm not going to use it for scaling reads, right? And you get one Standby Replica for a BCN premium, which is a big deal. And the obvious question that most customers would have is, what about hyperscale? With the recent price reduction that we did in Ignite, where we completely took off license component.
Super exciting.
So hyperscale is cost effective from get-go.
So you don't get the 40% discount because you already have the 40% discount. Got it.
That's the best way to put it. Got it. And along the way, in preview, we have been seeing a strong adoption from customers from various industries like finance, automotive, government, and professional business services. And all of them are pretty much like that, hey, this is something that we have wanted for a very long time. Now is the way for us to enable DR and do it at a lower price point, right? And customers have been eagerly waiting for GA, which is exactly what we have been doing. And we are excited to get it to the GA milestone. We hope a lot more customers benefit from this and enable DR at a lower price point.
Awesome. Cool. I think I just have one more question just to make sure I really understand it. So the biggest difference between a GeoReplica and a Standby Replica is the Standby Replica I don't use for my read workloads. It's just kind of there, keeping it hot so that if there's some sort of failover, I can do that.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Got it.
And in fact, you can also do DR drills. So that way you can prep your DR plans, see how your DR plans are working in action. The only thing is you can't use it for scaling out reads. If you want, then you can switch to GeoReplica. And along the way, for a GA announcement, what we have also done is we given a simple choice to convert the GeoReplica to Standby in place if you ever have the need. So you can always come in and go out depending on what your use case is.
So if you don't need it for reads, you can switch it to the Standby, and then if you do, you can switch it, and you don't have like a lot of downtime for that.
It's all metadata operation happens online.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, folks, you heard it here first. The Standby replicas are now generally available. Any final tips or tricks for folks?
I would say go to our blog. If you hit that link, which is ak.ms SQL DB Standby, you'll hit our blog. And then from there, you hit up documentation. And we have put detailed documentation covering all the scenarios. In fact, we go over in depth on what is covered in the Standby Replica. How do you configure a Standby Replica? How do you convert existing GeoReplica, which is something that customers have been asking for? And a bunch of FAQ questions covering various scenarios like reserved instance. What about Azure hybrid benefit? So all those questions are answered in the FAQ.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Rajesh, thanks so much for coming on the show. I learned a lot. I'm sure our users learned a lot as well. Hey, if you like this episode, go ahead, give it a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think and what you're using it for. Hopefully Standby replicas. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.